Welcome to Yeukai Business Show, UK's premier business show where we feature business thought leaders, high achievers, and industry experts. Today's episode is brought to you by World Outsourcing Solutions Limited, a company that specializes in helping executive business owners with virtual assistant services and business growth systems. Here's your host, Yeukai Ketchidori.
Hello and welcome back to another very special episode. Look, I'm so grateful that you're here today and you are taking time out to educate yourself, develop yourself, and become better through listening to experts like the expert we have today. This is remarkable. You and I are kindred in spirit because we want to improve every single day. And I honor you for that. And I can't wait to hear your success story after listening to this episode. Now, let me ask you a question. Who doesn't want to know the tips, the tricks, and the secrets of the trade when it comes to this area? I don't know anybody. I think everybody wants to know the shortcuts to getting things done, to getting to the goals faster without losing your life, losing your mind, or even stressed out, or even losing your family. So you stay tuned today and discover exactly what those tips, the tricks, and the secrets in this area today. Now, before I introduce our guest, I want to remind you of the two trainings we've got ready already for you in the community. Number one, our training on how to start, scale, and monetize your podcast training and consulting aspect of it is already ready for you. So if you want to know how to do these things, how to grow your podcasting, how to monetize your podcast, or even just simply to start, we've got you covered. And remember, we've been doing this since 2015. So we've got what works right now, not what used to work, what works right now. So I'm super excited about that. And the second thing I'm excited about and want you to check out, it is a Trevor Stockwell's leadership training. And I know that it is going to help you if you want to streamline your leadership or just want to have a strategy call with Trevor. By the way, Trevor is my business partner. I've known the gentleman, again, since 2005, so many years. And, we've been working together for a good number of years. So I know the stuff that he teaches. I know that he lives and breathes this leadership stuff. So we want you to have access to that. And finally, if you're not yet a member of our community, you want to be part of the community, because at the end of our episode, the conversation that we are starting here will carry on in those in our community, and we want you to be there so you don't miss out. All right, enough of that. I love telling you what we are doing, but I'm more excited right now to listen in and learn from our guests today. Is that great? I know, it's brilliant. Well, there you go. Thank you so much, by the way, for joining us here, and for those who haven't yet come across your work and who don't know who you are, would you tell us a little about yourself, introduce yourself, maybe in terms of your background, your education, and your experience? A lot of people want to know, how you got started, what are you doing right now in this area, what sort of people you're helping. If we could cover all these things right now, that would be amazing.
Hey there, everyone. This is Joyce Tsang, content marketer and founder based in Hong Kong. I'm delighted to be on this show to speak to you all about content marketing and share a bit about my career journey and stories with you. I started my business, Joyce Tsang Content Marketing, back in November 2020. I help my clients create content strategies and educate them on distributing content via social media and digital marketing. Now, but before I get into that, I would like to tell you a bit about my background. After graduating university with a BA in arts, I was struggling to find a related job. So I asked myself, what are the skills that I have and what jobs required those skills? In the end, because of my love for writing, I got into the media industry and was working as a reporter and an online editor for several years. There, I really sharpened my content creation skills. I was writing articles, doing interviews, directing photo shoots, and also covering events. However, the media industry started shrinking as everybody moved online. And I also felt the need to pivot, and so I got into video production. Later on, I moved into social media roles. Now, fast forward that 7 years, I was a content director at an advertising agency, serving global clients and helping them with creating high-value content. Now, with that being said, why did I actually start my own business? And that is because I started to see more and more clients getting fixated on the idea of content creation, but did not know how to plan, measure, or analyze their content efforts. In short, that means that everybody was just creating content for the sake of creating it. And that didn't sit well with me. I know there's a better way to do it. And ultimately, that led me straight into the whole industry of content marketing.
Amazing. Clearly, you are not a new kid on the block, really. You've been at it for a long time. So let's dive deep and begin to talk about this subject. So, what is a tip you wish someone had shared with you in the areas right when you got started? Maybe uh, expand it in terms of why this tip was so valuable and the best way for business owner to put this tip into action, and if there's any tools or websites or even apps that any first time user may be able to access. And maybe if they got stuck in implementing this tip, what can they do today to get unstuck? I know there's quite a few questions there, but if we could expand on this as detailed and logical as we possibly can, that'll be truly amazing for all those who are taking notes right now.
Now, the biggest tip I have for every audience here is that content marketing is not content planning, and neither is it just content creation. Many entrepreneurs or business owners go straight into social media and start creating content based on their subjective preferences or trends and believe they're doing content marketing. That's simply not true. Now, content marketing really consists of three main parts: strategy, content creation, and analysis. Many people only focus on content creation and struggle to understand why their performances are not justifying their efforts. And that's because they're not doing the whole required process. Simply put, let me break it all down. Firstly, before registering for any account or creating any content, an entrepreneur should really start by recognizing its brand key message. So what that means is they need to know what they want to say and why they want to say it. How is it unique and different from other people in the industry? What does it mean to the company? It should be a simple one-liner that is expressed through your content so that audiences can recall or remember you. Now, as you can imagine, that brand key message shouldn't be a product description or a call to purchase. It's really a message that reveals brand beliefs, proposition, mission, and value. Then, an entrepreneur who's looking to start content marketing should invest in target audience research. They need to figure out their pain points, struggles, dreams, and desires in order to craft what we call a target audience persona. What that really means is it's a 360 view of their target audience so that the brand has enough in-depth information and understanding about these people. This goes beyond demographics, including things like age, gender, disposable income, but really taking it up to the next level, including behavior, the questions they ask, the things they want to achieve, and really start treating and understanding them like a friend. Now, a great tool many marketers use is what we call answerthepublic.com. All you need to do is type that into your browser, go in, type in your industry keyword, and it'll generate you all of the related questions that people are searching online. Apart from that, forums such as Reddit and Quora are also great places for you to do research. All you need to do is find relevant groups, jump in, and look at the questions that people are asking. What value is the community providing? Can you provide something different or build on top in order to differentiate yourself? Now, that's the only way for you to understand what content your brand should be creating, by aligning the first part, which is the brand key message, with your target audience persona. Because that's where you can actually see the common grounds between what you can and have the ability and expertise to say versus what your target audiences are actually interested in hearing about. What you create as content should never be a gut feel or based on some subjective instinct, because chances are you are not your target audience. And that's what most companies get wrong straight off the bat. They think that their target audiences care about them, and they think their target audiences will stalk their business accounts, follow their feed, check out every single post that they have. But the real fact is these people don't care about you. It might sound very harsh, but they really don't. All they care about is how you can help them. So if you were to put yourself in the shoes of your potential customers, they're always out there researching, looking, sieving through all the content and advertisement that they receive in order to find their best solution. So if you start adopting this mindset of offering value instead of sell, 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 the picture becomes very clear. Content marketing is all about helping others through offering high value content so that you are able to encourage interaction, connection, and most importantly, trust. And that is what helps your brand stay on top of mind. And therefore, when these people need your product or service, they will naturally come to you.
It's awesome. That is incredible. I certainly wish I knew this tip right before I got started. But then, this is what happens. You discover these things as you go. Let's dive deep and talk about a trick now. What is a cool trick, perhaps, you have figured out or discovered in this area that would really help business owners like me in our audience to get things done? Maybe in this area, we could talk about how to, the best way to implement this trick. Really, any tools available right now that people can use, and how long the trick can take to implement. And of course, if people are stuck in implementing this, what can they do today to get them out of that dreaded place where they're stuck? And I know we can do that.
Now, one common inquiry people do have when it comes to content marketing is content planning. Of course, make sure you have your brand key messaging platform and your target audience persona down before moving onto the stage. Now, once you have done the research and know what content you need to create, many people struggle to understand how they should actually plan and distribute their content accordingly. If you were to ask me, the first thing that I would recommend you in doing is have all your content ideas, copies, and visual assets organized properly. So the simple way to do it would be to set up something like a Google Drive with photo folders and a Word or Excel document to save all your written ideas. Now, but for me, I think the better way would be to actually invest in a content management system, or what we call the CMS. There's a lot of different free versions out there for you to try and to see what best fits you. For me personally, I've used softwares like Later, HubSpot, and I'm currently using Content Cow. So don't put just all of your ideas as a draft on platform backends, such as Facebook or Instagram. First thing being, their scheduling backend really isn't that reliable, especially when they do updates. So as you would be aware, social media platforms have updates all the time without telling users like us. I've had clients and mentees lose their content because of that. So I wouldn't advise doing that. The second thing is it traps you in this post by post mindset instead of seeing content creation in a more holistic view. In my opinion, you should be planning out your content in advance and seeing how each of them play towards in communicating your big brand key messaging related ideas. The second thing is many people become anxious about content creation because they hear everyone saying that you need to create a post or even more every single day. And for me, I always say this. There's no point in creating so much content if you're going to die and kill yourself during the process. Obviously, not physically, but the mental stress and the pressure during that content creation process is very unlikely for you to drive and result in high quality content. The key in content creation or in content marketing generally is really about the quality, how well it fits the distribution channel, and most importantly, if it's something that you like doing. For example, you might see Reels being a big thing on Instagram right now, and everybody is pumping out heaps of short form videos there every day. But let's just say you don't like doing videos. You're not gravitating to the whole creative process of creating short form anyways, but you really want to hop on that trend and you end up just forcing images into a video or creating something that doesn't speak to your audiences or aligns with your brand key message just for the sake of jumping on a trending audio or just to show up in that tool within the platform you're using. Now, as you can imagine, that's not going to really get you anywhere. My benchmark is when it comes to creating content like that, you really need to ask yourself, do you enjoy the process? Because it's actually very important. If you hate the process, not only will it jeopardize the quality, but it will jeopardize your consistency. And that is one of the key in doing content creation for content marketing. You can't just create a bunch of posts in a month and then disappear and ghost and hope that it would still drive you beneficial business objectives or performances based on different metrics on the social media platform. Now, the second thing is a lot of people ask me as well, Joyce, how do I decide the number of content that I should be producing then? My benchmark is you should aim for 12 to 16 posts per month per platform. That means that you'll have 3 to 4 posts a week and a good batch to study at the end of the month as to what performed well, what didn't, what needs to be improved, and how, and if there are any content patterns worth spotting. Now, my little trick when it comes to scheduling these 12 to 16 posts is by doing it at a diagonal in your monthly calendar view. What that means is if you were to imagine your monthly calendar view and say you have a post on Monday for this week, for the next week, have a post on Tuesday. And for the next week after that, have a post on Wednesday. Now, as you can imagine, it forms all these lines of diagonals on your calendar, which first of all ensures that each post is only 1 to 2 days apart and that you're actually maximizing on your data points because you're covering every single day of the week. On top of that, in order for you to generate the most insight, schedule your post from morning until very late at night. Now, depending on where your demographics are and how your target audiences behave on these different platforms, it might surprise you as to find out when your users are actually active in consuming content. For myself here in Hong Kong, what I've realized is that generally we stay up very late. And a lot of the content is consumed anywhere between 12 a.m. to as late as 4 a.m. or as early as. So for you, be sure to test that out and use this diagonal calendar scheduling idea to help you maximize all of your data points. Now, covering the whole day not only allows you to see when your best posting time is, but this way has been tested by myself, my clients, as well as my mentees, because at the end of the month, maybe just within a month, it's already very evident as to what content performs the best, when is the best time for them to post, and what other vanity metrics, engagement metrics, or statistics they can actually anticipate to achieve in the next month. So that would be my little trick in scheduling your content.
I hope, Bill, you're getting this because I'm finding this very, very useful. And I'm hoping that we are also taking notes on this as well. Let's dive deep into talking about the secret now. We've covered the tips and we've covered the tricks. And now let's talk about the secret. What is the secret? Every business owner needs to know when it comes to this area. Why is it so important? And why is it secret? And why don't we, or don't many people know about it? Really, why don't I know about it? Well, I would know if it was not a secret, but we want to explore more about this so that a lot of people will be helped. And also talk about the tools. I always want to talk about tools because I've discovered that for everything that you do, you can do better when you've got the right tools. So would you help us in this area, please?
I mean, I don't know if this is a secret, but many of my clients tell me this after working with me. And that is they didn't expect content marketing to be so much work. They genuinely thought it was going to be about getting some posts on social or just writing a few blogs. But honestly, come on. If it was that easy, how do you think it can actually generate such amazing results that has been regarded as even the last form of marketing left? Now, I have to admit, content marketing is a lot of work, but it's also the easiest and cheapest way to get the biggest growth over a long period of time, which is why it's actually one of the best ways for entrepreneurs to start marketing their own business, their own brand, or even their personal identity online. Now, I'm going to throw some stats at you. According to compost.ly, content marketing generates 6 times more leads at 62% of the cost of traditional marketing. And according to Reforge.com, customer acquisition costs from content marketing are 15% less than paid acquisitions. And companies with a content strategy have a 30% higher growth rate than those who do not. Now, what am I trying to say here? All I'm really trying to emphasize is that even if you consider using content marketing or not, the potential within creating content organically is immense. Really stop yourself before jumping into things like paid ads and PPC and think about the essence of content. Are you really offering and providing quality and value to your target audiences? Because if not, all you're doing is pushing in additional budget that is going to run out ultimately just to reach more people with content that they do not want. And that's not really doing anything good for your business. Now, how is content marketing actually able to generate these results? It's because your potential customers are going through so much content every day. They might land on your website through search engines, they might come in contact with you through email marketing, or they may even have simply just stumbled across your video content. But these content, when used strategically, are able to act as little soldiers, little salespeople that are 24/7 standing on the side of your brand, telling other people about your messages. And that's really why content marketing works so well. But in order to enjoy these level of growth and result in the statistics that I have provided earlier on, it's not just about creating high value content. It's also about being able to show up at the right contextual moment so that it actually touches your target audiences in the right time, in the right moment, so that they will consider and remember your branding, your service, or your product. Now, I'm not going to get into the technicalities about targeting, retargeting, the customer journey, so on and so forth. But what I want to talk about is you need content to be present at the different stages of what we call the content marketing funnel. Now, as I mentioned, once you have a content marketing funnel, each piece of your content starts playing a comprehensive role in a strategy, and they start to appear in the right moment on the right marketing channel. So then they become a piece of tactic that can each call to action and prompt your target audiences either down the funnel or closer to making a decision. Now, the content marketing funnel is broken down into 3 main stages: the awareness, the interest, and the consideration, which is also what you might have seen online or hear people call as tofu, which is top of funnel, not the food, mofu, middle of the funnel, and bofu, so bottom of the funnel. Now, many companies are tempted to just create content on the consideration level, which is the bofu level. That is where a lot of high intended, meaning people with the urge or is ready to buy, are located. But that pool is so small and it's highly competitive because, as you can imagine, a lot of other competitors in your industry are also looking to drive these fishes and catch them for their own good. So without building a relationship with these people earlier on in the tofu and mufu, which is the awareness and interest stage, these people would just easily consider your competitors based on price, based on convenience, or based on things that's really going to just drive down your profit margin and cause your brand to appear less prestige or unique as it actually is. So the whole content marketing funnel idea is no different than really meeting a new friend or even dating. You don't go and ask a stranger to spend the rest of their lives with you in the first date, but you introduce yourself, you get to know them, you share conversations, so on and so forth. That might sound very normal to you, but you'd be surprised as to how little companies actually think about their marketing that way. So for entrepreneurs, small business owners, a simple way to get started on building your own content marketing funnel is by placing a social media platform in the awareness stage, because that's where you're easily going to drive a lot of organic, so non-boosted eyeballs to your content based on the pool of users that's on that social media platform. For your MoFu stage, consider something that's a longer format content type. It might be things like a downloadable, an ebook, a podcast episode, something slightly longer in format, so that imagine that person got your snippet of value from social media, and when they want to find more, they get a little bit more in depth in who you are, what you provide, and why they should even pay attention and listen to you. For the BOFU stage, which is the conversion stage, set up something like a landing page or a website. So a URL, a place or a hub where you can actually invite them to visit. Now, a tool that I use in building that is Wix.com. So my whole website, joyceandcontentmarketing.com, is built using that. And I think it's a great tool for entrepreneurs to consider and using because it's a no-code web builder. And there's a lot of useful tools that's embedded there and you can implement and easily use. So you don't actually need to go through a webmaster to update the website or access back-end metrics. Now, at the end of this, remember content marketing is really not there to hard sell. It's really there to attract. And that's the only way to drive your target audiences to action and achieve your marketing goals without you losing out on your branding or your messaging.
This is great. We are actually coming toward the end of our time here together. But the good news is this conversation doesn't end here. We'll carry it on in our community, which I'm excited about. And again, if you're not yet a member of our community, you want to go and join the community so you can carry on with the conversation. Coming back to you, are there any other juicy tips, tricks, and secrets at this point that you feel business owners like me can benefit from knowing them?
I mean, during our discussion today, we covered a lot of grounds when it comes to the idea of doing content marketing as an entrepreneur or somebody who's looking to start their own business. Apart from those technical tips and tactics and funnels and content creation and things like that, I really think that anybody who's considering in adopting content marketing for their business needs to think about the idea of consistency, authenticity, as well as transparency. So a lot of leads and clients come to me asking, hey, Joyce, can you help us create content? Can you help us talk about our brand? Indeed, people like me or other marketers are well equipped in doing that for you. But we also need that sense of authenticity in order for your brand to stand out within all these noise, the highly competitive online world. And unless you as a client is able to commit yourself in giving us raw insights, your own point of view, your belief in the industry, your own experiences, and your own ideas, the content that we will produce is not going to be very in-depth or highly engaging to your target audiences because at the end of the day, we're simply not you. So for entrepreneurs who are starting out, I would really recommend you in really considering creating your content by yourself first. However, engage in somebody like myself as a content marketer to get consultations and advices as to how you can improve and learn to read the metrics and the performances to justify your content efforts. Second thing I mentioned is with transparency. One idea that I have came across is one of my leads who is very successful with his own business, started it for over a decade, wanted to get into content marketing because he saw the instability in acquiring new leads simply and solely through word of mouth. Now, I completely agree with him, but once he actually got into the whole idea of creating content, he started having second thoughts because he didn't want to tell people too much about him, too much about the business, too much about things that they did, how they set their pricing, who they want as clients, what is their work process, so on and so forth. Now, of course, I'm not telling you that you need to tell everybody everything about your business. But it's very important when it comes to content marketing that you're able and you're willing to show the behind the scenes aspect of your business. That's what really engages and interacts with your target audiences, especially for the younger generation nowadays. They're not considering brands because of how flashy they look or simply based on their pricing. As you may or may not know, a lot of them are deciding their purchase based on the beliefs, the mottos, the social impact that these companies bring. And so therefore, in order for you to also excel and result in positive return on investment when it comes to investing to content marketing, that's a second thing that you should really consider. Now, last but not least, with authenticity, transparency comes consistency. And we've briefly touched up on this in the earlier conversations. However, it's not only bound to the idea of how frequently you upload your post. I've mentioned these with other people as well, as that consistency also lies within your tone and manner and who creates your content. You would never want your content to sound like one person one day and sounds like another person another day, which is why it also reinforces that first point I made. It's actually much better for you to start creating your content first and then letting somebody professional come in and help you to refine it. Because then you can retain your authenticity and, of course, remain consistent when it comes to uploading the same high quality and the same brand voice to your target audiences through your content. So for me, these are three very important things for entrepreneurs as well as new business owners to consider before jumping into content marketing as well.
And finally, is there anything I haven't asked you today about this area and that you think, you know what, knowing what I know now and with what is happening out there, this will be a great tip or a great trick or a great secret to share with our knowledge, our community. Would you share that with us today?
I guess one final tip that I do have for entrepreneurs and people considering to start their business or in the very early stage of starting their business is that even if you have nothing settled down, you don't know what product or service you want to provide, you have no clue about your target audiences, you haven't even landed your first client, you're still struggling to solidify your branding and your key messaging, what should you do? The number one tip I would give you on that is self-discovery. When it comes to a lot of successful brands and entrepreneurs, a lot of them actually started their business in order to solve a problem that they have. Think about that. What problem really keeps you up at night? What is the thing that makes you agitated and frustrated when it's not being solved? Think about that problem, what you are able to do in order to try and solve it, and start from there. Perhaps you're good at writing things down and expressing it in a better way in order to prevent certain problems from arising with communicating with new people. Maybe that's your edge. Communicating, writing skills, in specific for people who might be introverted or struggle with public speaking, talking to strangers offline, things like that. So I think that's an interesting starting point for anybody who's not just considering content marketing, but struggling to pinpoint all these specific downs in order to move them into any marketing initiatives for their brands. Start from within. Ask yourself, what is it that keeps you up at night? And what is it that you can help solve?
Wow. What do you think, Bill? This has been great. I absolutely love what we have discovered here today. And I will certainly be listening to this myself over and over and over again, because repetition, it is what is going to get these things cemented in us. So once again, thank you so much for a great interview. And I never want to finish off our conversation without giving you an opportunity to share your website or your social media handles with our community, because I know for a fact there will be people who wants to connect with you directly in that way, or even book for a strategy session or even for a call with you so that you can start that journey with them. So could you tell us a little bit about your website or your social media handles so that we can connect you with you in that way?
So for those of you who have any inquiries in consideration to content marketing, content planning, content strategy, content creation, so on and so forth, simply just type in my name, Joyce Tsang, JoyceTsang, content marketing into your search and browser, and I would pop up. Now, for those of you who are more of a social butterfly and you want to find out more about me through social media platforms, do the same thing. I'm at Joyce Tsang Content Marketing on Instagram, on LinkedIn, as well as on YouTube. For those of you who are looking for more tips, more resources, feel free to visit my website at joycetsangcontentmarketing.com, where I not only have a free ebook for download, but also a free webinar for those of you who are interested, where I take a deep dive into telling entrepreneurs and letting them know how they can steer away from what we call shiny objects and really focus on creating content that pushes the needle. For those of you who want to jump on a call, maybe ask me questions personally, there's also a button on my main page that says a free 30-minute diagnostic session. You can simply just click in there. It will direct you to a schedule link where you can select your preferred time slot, and we can immediately jump on a 30-minute call. So of course, just go around, find me, and hopefully the content I have produced online is able to entertain you, educate you, and help inspire you on your content marketing journey.
Excellent. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. What a great conversation, truly. Great tips, great tricks, and secrets in this area. We are truly blessed, really, to have an opportunity to discover these things now, and that will help us in our business now and in the future. Now, as you can tell, we did not cover everything. We barely scratched the surface. And this conversation is going to carry on in the community, and like we always do with our other recordings. So we want you, if you're not yet a member of our business community, and that is Yeukai Business Community, we want you to click the link below so you can create an account for yourself. Download the app on your phone. Works exactly like WhatsApp or Facebook. Just go in there and you will be taken care of, and ask any questions. Don't be a spectator, just participate, and you will get more out of this than if you were just watching by the sideline. This is going to be great. So click the link below and join the community. And I know my guests, all of my guests, are in there helping people as well beyond our time on the podcast here today. So until next time, as we always say, live well, live with passion, know that the best is truly, truly yet to come. I truly believe that with all my heart, and that's why I keep saying it, and I know it's the same thing for you, to live well, love on your family, love on your relative, love on those that you get the opportunity to live with. And live with passion, don't hold back, live to the full. Whatever gift you have been given, whatever opportunity you've been given, live fully. And remember, the best is truly yet to come. Life may be difficult for you perhaps right now, or maybe things are not working out the way you want them to be right now. But believe me, there is always a light at the end of the tunnel. And keep coming back into these areas and figuring out what is working and communicating with other people. You will get out of it stronger and more powerful, and you're going to help other people do extremely well. I'm very proud of you for taking time to be here. In fact, I know you and I are kindred in spirit. We are truly out there, want to develop ourselves and make something out of ourselves and be great contributors in all way around. Now, I know I'm going over, but listen, I am rooting for you. I know all my guests are rooting for you. My team is all rooting for you. We want you to succeed. So live well, live with passion. Know that the best is yet to come. See you in the community today or over the next few weeks from now. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you for listening to Yeukai Business Show. We will be back to bring you more episodes with success stories and advice straight from the experts. Want more? Check out www.yeukai.businessshow.com. Get your free trial of our virtual assistant service today. Just visit www.worldoutsourcingsolutions.com. Quote WOS18 or send us an email at support@worldoutsourcingsolutions.com.